What's up, guys? It's Pat here again. I told you was gonna see a lot more of me. Right now it is Wednesday, January 2nd, 2019. It is going on 5:30, 6 a.m. almost. Um, just checking in with you because it's Wednesday. It's new comic book day, so I'm just doing something that I should have been doing for I don't know a long time now, and I just figured I help you guys start your day off with just a quick review of two big books that are coming out today, and just giving you my 2 cents as far as which one you guys might want to pick up. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're seeing this. Without further ado, let's get to the review. All right. Book number one is Marvel's Infinity Wars, Infinity number one. It basically picks up right after the latest Infinity Wars special or event ends with the man Adam Warlock himself, basically taking possession of the Infinity Stones. And I don't want to give too much away, but it shows exactly what happens like right after all of that's over with. The book introduces a character named Hector Batista, who this is not really a spoiler alert because they actually did admit this a few months ago. It's a character that actually comes into possession of one of the gems. I'm not gonna say how. It's actually pretty interesting. Not gonna say which gem because again, his use of it is interesting. It's kind of like how they used to show all of the mutants when they first figured out they had powers. It's the whole holy crap, I didn't know I could do that, even though he can do that, and it's pretty sweet. The writing on the book is a little bit all over the place because it does pick up after something so huge. And I say that because we all know it's event after event after event these days. But it's one of those stories where it's kind of all over the place, but it's going to come all back and fall right back in line like dominoes in reverse. We all know that's what's going to happen. But the story itself is a little bit from Earth to Xanadar to other dimensions, back to outside of the dimension with time and space and all of that. Basically, the main thing, I guess, the main goal of issue number one on this is to introduce you to the concept of where they're going with the stones, and to introduce this new character, Hector Batista, who is at the beginning of the book an inmate on death row in Texas, with an execution set to happen within like the next 24, 48 hours. Spoiler alert, there is a weird cameo at the very end of the book. Spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. Wolverine makes one of the weirdest Wolverine appearances I've ever seen in my life. And I've been like seeing Wolverine appearances since the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So, yeah, I'm a little up there in age. If you're a Wolverine fan, I don't know how it's going to rub you, whether it's going to rub you the right way or the wrong way. Is weird. That's all I can say. I mean, pretty much since they brought him back from the dead, it's weird. It's pretty much all I can say about that. All right. But that's Marvel's Infinity Wars, Infinity number one, out today. All right, so book number two, it's definitely the between the two, it's the better book in my personal opinion. I'm Mr. Marvel all day long, but DC is lately they've been knocking it out of the park. I got to give it to them. Hats off to the distinguished competition. Anyway, book two is actually Heroes in Crisis, number 4, which is also out today, January 2nd, 2019. This one picks up pretty much right after issue number 3 ends, where the DC Holy Trinity, basically, they're kind of split down the middle as far as figuring out who took out all of the characters at Sanctuary, whether it was BG Booster Gold or whether it was the diabolical Harley Quinn. It goes down the line. It's actually a pretty cool part. This is not really a spoiler because it doesn't really reveal much, but there's a pretty cool panel in the book where the Flash and Batman are both pretty much, just sitting there at the end of their little summaries and everything, and they pretty much have a back and forth dialogue, real quick, just 3 panels. I think we can agree on who did this. Yep, we both know who did this. Exactly. It was, and of course, at the same time, they're saying both of the other, they're both saying different names with the nice little expletive with the, the little ampersand, exclamation mark, and all of that being exclaimed by the Flash right after that. It was a pretty neat thing, considering that those two are two of DC's bigger detective characters. With Batman being Detective Comics and the Flash being a forensic expert, of course, in his day job. Barry Allen Flash, not, any other person. But overall, this book it's another one that kind of went not necessarily all over the place. It does include, because it's a DC book that has the word crisis in the title, it has to include a lot of different characters, which it does. The book actually opens up with Tempest and Donna Troy. Just a quick little interaction between the two of them. And then they really don't show up for the rest of the book. So, it's got a couple of those where it's just quick cameos, just to further show the depth of the characters that have been and are currently, I guess, still trying to go to the Sanctuary site. One huge thing that did happen in this issue, it's actually revealed that someone knows about the Sanctuary that isn't supposed to. They don't reveal who, but whoever it is has actually been, I guess, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. They've actually been leaking photos, videos, and all of that. Basically, Sanctuary logs, I guess you'd call them, to Lois Lane. And due to their marriage and the code of ethics of being a reporter, Superman is kind of on the fence as to whether he could share this information with the rest of the heroes, or if he's got to keep it to himself. So it creates an added dynamic, an added sense of jeopardy to the whole situation at hand already. Like I said, it's a pretty good book. This Crisis book is, I don't have to tell you, this is like, if we're going chronologically, this is like Crisis Part 8, 9, or something like that. But it's a pretty good book. It's a pretty dope book. The art in this book is beautiful. I didn't mention too much about the art in the Marvel book. It didn't really stand out, so I don't think it's a. It's a big. It's going. They're aiming it to be a big book, but it's not. You can usually tell from the art that they put on the books. I'll put it that way. And DC has gone all out with this Heroes in Crisis event. Every page is amazing. Every panel is just beautiful. The splash pages are works of art. Even when you get to see Wonder Woman, I guess, throw a fit in the Batcave, which you get to see in this issue, it's just gorgeous, man. The book is just gorgeous. The colors, the lines, the faces. Like, I really love how when the characters are in the Sanctuary, they're doing their little monologues and all of that, where they're doing their little confessions, like The Office or something like that. And you can actually see, like, the different emotions on the characters' faces going from panel to panel to panel to panel. It's not like how it used to be, where it'd pretty much be the same sketch just with different words and all of that. No, no, they're going all out. The artists on this book, the artists on these crisis books, they're really going all out, going balls to the wall, making sure that their pictures are matching up with what they want this story to be. And so far, it's all been top 10 work. So it's a beautiful book. I definitely recommend getting it. If it was a choice between the two, I would have to go with DC on this one. One added bonus to that is that there's actually a tribute to Stan Lee at the end of the book. It's just a simple page, just the tip of the hat to the man, the late great Stan Lee, Excelsior. But I think it pretty much capped off a winning experience. All right, guys, that was pretty much it for today. Just remember, like always, like, subscribe, comment, let me know you're out there. I want to talk back to you. I want to open up this dialogue to the people that are watching, because I want to talk about this stuff, obviously, and I love to talk about it with other people that enjoy talking about the same things. So reach out to me and let's start a dialogue. All right.